Hey Warhawks, Colonel Wilson coming to you again. Season 2, Episode 13, Chapter 61 overall. I am here, as always, with my wingman, Command Chief Mike Morgan. Coming off a long 3-day weekend, Chief. Hopefully you and the family got some downtime. We're able to go out and do some fun stuff. Any recap of the Morgan household's weekend? Anything fun?
Yeah, boss. So we actually went out and got to explore the community a little bit. We went out to this very cool natural place that's been developed called Natural Bridge Cavern. Spent the day out there with the family exploring caves and learning about stalactites, stalagmites, columns, and soda straw stalactites, all while walking about 16 stories underground. And just had a good time. You know, they got a park for the kids, some zip lining courses, and some other things. And it was just good to just be out and about and enjoy the community. And it's a great community to be in. You know, we got a lot of great community partners out there who are providing a lot of opportunities. For example, you know, Fiesta, we're getting ready. There's a tasker out there to get the new set of Fiesta
Holy cow,
ambassadors.
is that coming up already?
Yeah. So,
Man.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, it was a good weekend. How about you? Did you get to
Yeah,
fun?
so let me see. We diversified. We did on Friday, we did football,
Nice.
high school football. And we changed it up on Saturday by doing some college football, watching college football, which led into Sunday where we did some pro football. So we mixed it up this weekend. I mean, that is actually the truth. But we started out on Friday night. We drove to Houston. My son, Kyle, who I'm, unabashed, proud dad on his football team, won 49-26, the Central
Nice.
Catholic High School Buttons on a team down in Houston. We're driving to Houston tomorrow for our next game. They had the ball 7 times and they scored 7 touchdowns.
Nice.
Pretty happy about that whole performance. But anyway, we had fun.
Yeah.
Excited to go out and check out the caverns, and we've loved that. We've done that in a number of different places. So the bottom line is get out. You guys were able to get out and do some things, and that's what we're all about, right?
Yeah.
So we're still kind of dealing with this stuff, but things are getting better. We've seen the numbers. For COVID, we've seen the numbers continually go down for I think the last 4 weeks in a row. We've gone down by, I think, anywhere from 4 to 6% per week in terms of COVID positivity rates and some of the negative indicators that we've seen in the past. Things are definitely turning around, and our numbers on base have really been very positive. And so we're excited about being able to continue to do things. And why do I mention that? Well, because we have recently transitioned from HPCON Bravo Plus by orders of our installation commander, Brigadier General Miller, to HPCON Bravo, which is exciting. Some of the big changes that has is, I think, 50% capacity. We were tracking 40% capacity in some of our areas. We're now at 50% capacity. Also allows us to open up the fitness center to some family members and maybe open up the hours a little bit, expedite things through the entry control points on the installation.
Yeah, the defenders can handle your ID cards again. So,
Yeah.
That speeds things up a little bit.
So that's all good. We're all very happy about that, and so hopefully continue to see progress as our numbers, like I said, our key performance indicators improve.
Yeah.
So we just finished some commanders calls.
Yes, sir.
Two commanders calls this week, and it was great. We were able to share some information that we thought was applicable to the wing and some of the things that are going on, not only around the wing but also around the Air Force. You know, as everybody knows, they saw us when we were in Maryland for the Air Force Assistance Conference and the Wing Commanders and Senior Enlisted Corps Conference. So able to share some things there. Also able to get some feedback on some things, and like any organization, we always have room for improvements, and I think that's the case here, and we'll continue to get after it. But we just want to continue to encourage people to either through mechanisms like we just did with our commanders calls, Warhawks solutions, or just the old school, traditional chain of command.
Yeah.
We also have social media. That's obviously an opportunity for not only just our members but our family members too, if they want to provide feedback. So that was great.
Yeah, I don't know about you, boss, but for me personally, I prefer an analog conversation and just like actually seeing somebody eyeball to eyeball and just having an open conversation. You tend to get down to the grassroots and people approach it in a little bit different way when you're doing face to face rather than just throwing stuff out there and see what happens.
Well, yeah. I mean, so we have both alternatives. Yep. Definitely. We give them the opportunity to provide comments anonymously through their technology, as my children call it, technology, and then also to stand up and ask a question.
Yeah.
It's funny, and this is a little bit about, we could go into a conversation on society at large, but it's a little bit different mindset when you're actually standing up and you're presenting your ideas as a human being versus just posting things electronically through your technology. Little different thought process that goes into that when you have to look the person in the eyes and actually say it to them.
Yeah, and there's places for both too.
Yeah, there is.
And we do get a lot of good feedback and good ideas and good things for us to actually work on as a command team. So,
I think we got a ton of feedback.
Yes, we did.
Good feedback, very good
feedback.
feedback.
Yeah.
So excited about that.
Yeah.
And we will follow up with those. I just wanted to point out that we will post answers to the questions from today out on Warhawks Solutions as well. We had a BMT graduation today. Wolfpack.
Yeah, Wolfpack 331.
Had a graduation.
Lieutenant Colonel Marks and Chief Hannibal's team. Yeah,
that's right. Had a reviewing official today. We had Major General Bibb from 18th Air Force, who basically is only responsible for the Mobility Air Force's operational mission. All that, that small little thing. And then we had Chief Bickley. Chief Bickley's an old friend of the 37th Training Wing.
Yes,
He's a defender by trade. However, was a Blue Rope Master Military Training Instructor, as I understand it.
Yes.
It was great having them. We spent some time yesterday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it, but you and the leadership of Colonel Eyrick went over to the Career Enlisted Aviators and the Center of Excellence over there, talked to all of our Career Enlisted Aviators. Really got down to discussions on pipeline training for our enlisted aviators and how the 2nd Air Force pipeline connects to the 19th and the 18th Air Force pipelines. And so just a really good opportunity, and very appreciative of having them in. We're starting to see that open up. We're starting to see more and more reviewing officials come in from all over the Air Force, both the commander and the senior enlisted leaders. So it's really great. So vaccines. We'll talk about COVID vaccines. We got to talk about that a little bit. We recognize, here's what the foundational information has already been out there for a while. The 2nd of November is the big date for all DoD, for all military members within the Department of Defense to be fully vaccinated. If they are not fully vaccinated, they'll fit just one of a couple categories, and that will be either they've got some kind of medical exemption or they've requested religious accommodations of some way, shape, or form. That is going on in earnest right now. We kind of worked through that process, but some of the big news was on our civilian front. Yeah, so we had guidance that came out from OPM, Office of Personnel and Management, and it basically said that all civilian members are required to be vaccinated. That would be both Pfizer vaccines that are 21 days apart.
Yeah.
Thank you. Plus 14 days on the back end of the second would be completed by the 22nd of November. So we're starting to work through that process. We just received implementation guidance here recently. And so we work through that again in earnest. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Gateway discussions.
Gateway discussions. So Sergeant McCarty and Chief Select Lo Wong from the Trust, they started the gateway discussions out of the Diversity and Inclusion Council. Really just kind of trying to figure out where we need to look and then recommend to us what we need to do to maybe tackle some of the problems that we're having. Big thing that they want to do though, and I think it's amazing, is just give people a vehicle or a venue to voice their concerns, to voice what's going on in their lives, their units, their organizations, and really just be heard. And we actually, during our senior leader conference, we got to sit through one of those gateway discussions, and it was really impactful. I mean, just the how people were feeling about things like what happened during 2021 and 2020 with COVID, and just what was going on in and around the world, and then some of the personal challenges that they faced during that time, and then some of the personal challenges that they continue to face. It was a really, really powerful discussion and well worth the time. So the gateway discussions are going to be broken out by tier group, and what we really want people to do is participate, not just participate, but actually find value in it, and participate fully to the point that the value that they find, they're actually allowing other people to share in it as well.
Yeah, so that's great. Any opportunity to learn from another human being, to listen, and to be able to be heard, I think is immensely helpful. But I'll continue to go back to it builds unity.
Yep.
We're talking about diversity, and we're talking about inclusivity, but it all comes down to trust, and it all comes down to unity. And so I think this is definitely a way that we can move forward in that light. And so I'm just appreciative for the D&I Council moving forward with the Gateway discussions. And like you said, Sergeant McCarty's a rock star, and Chief Wong always has been, always will be. So appreciate they as well as there's a ton of other members that Ms. Harrison, that's all part of that. And so thank you all for doing that. And we look forward and encourage those that are participating to be open and and help us take advantage of that opportunity. You've been busy today, and I sort of just bypassed on what you've been up to. You're still here kind of sweating, trying to catch your breath. What's going on in the world of Chief Morgan today?
So today was a really good day. It was well spent. So we had my teammate Aaron McElroy, Chief Mac from AFPC, the new AFPC command chief, come over and visit the wing with a bunch of her division heads. So about 6 chiefs and the special staff superintendent, and really just kind of understand the challenges that we face on a day-to-day basis, not just with military training instructors or military training leaders, but the various mission sets that we have. We really try to just give them a good understanding of what we do and why we do it, and then maybe enlist some of their help with kind of getting AFPC to support some of the actions that we're trying to do with getting the right people into the right jobs, and that's kind of a right start, kind of an approach that we're taking with them, but also a strong finish. How are we offboarding people, and what kind of opportunities are we providing them as they exit this wing that is 95 to 99% staffed with nominative or selectively manned positions.
Right.
Yeah, so it has been a long day, but a day well spent building out some connective tissue and providing some understanding to them. One of the big questions her and her team kept asking is, what can we do to help, and what can we do to help? And I tell you, sort of the group senior enlisted leaders, they filled their notebooks today, filled AFPC notebooks with some things that they could do to help. So
that's great.
Really looking forward to, we just scratched the surface, and they already want to come back. They want to know when can they come back, and can they bring more people so they can understand what we have going on here. So yeah, it was a good day. It was a real good day. Yeah.
Well, that's what we talk about. We have a lot of visits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are we can be a shiny object that people want to come and see and they're interested in. But we always have two-way conversations. So hey, here's how we can benefit you. But we're always in the mode of making sure we let people know where we need help and assistance, and they're always very very receptive to it. Chief Mac sounds like was no different, so that was great.
Yeah.
Thanks for leading that effort there.
Yeah.
Hey, we had some Warhawks of the week. We've started talking about them real quick. I just wanted to list out their names from last week, and tomorrow we'll have you and Chief Irick. I'll be in the MLR, the management level review, for an upcoming promotion board.
So Colonel Irick and I will take care of it.
You and Colonel Irick will be highlighting our Warhawks of the week, but next week we have, this last week we had Miss Dilligard, Miss Smith, and Miss Irwin Kamara, all from DLI, Defense Language Institute, English Language Center. We had Master Sergeant Annie Roll from the 326 Training Squadron, Air Force Basic Military Training, and we had Texas Sergeant Jesse Munter from the 322nd Training Squadron from Air Force Basic Military Training. Congratulations to y'all. They were in our highlighted in our Hawk Talk this week, which is great. And
so if you want to find out why we highlighted them as Warhawks of the Week, go back to the Hawk Talk and read up on it. And there's a few other tidbits of good information out there for you to read into.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I'm biased. So anyway, so hey, that's what we had to share. Freeform Friday. It's been a busy week. For a short week, it's been a busy week, but we appreciate all the engagement this week. And again, as always, it's a pleasure and a blessing to be in the 37th Training Wing. Appreciate what our Warhawks and our airmen, our members do for us each and every day. And we hope everybody has a great normal weekend, non-long weekend, but enjoy the football or the sightseeing and the spelunking, whatever the case may be. Spelunking, how about that?
Yeah.
All right, so with that, we are out. Warhawks train to win. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.